Hello everyone. Hope you all are happy and healthy right now. Let's start our new lesson. Not new lesson, new part. That is part number 7 of lesson number 6. That is molecular basis of inheritance. And in this part, we are going to study the experimental verification of semi-conservative replication. Semi-conservative replication means in my last class I have already explained you that the mother DNA give birth to the daughter DNA, and in the set of a daughter DNA, one strands is always of the mother, and the other is prepared and rearranged by the nucleoplasm. Okay, so let's study the newly formed DNA contain 50% is contributed by mother DNA. Means the DNA is a double strand, so 50% means one strand is given by mother DNA and another strand made by itself on the basis of the mother DNA. Understood? Means this strand is the copy of this strand, but the nucleotide are just opposite to it. So both the strands are just exact copy to each other, and the daughter DNA that forms the daughter strand that forms on the mother is just equal and opposite to each other. Understood? So the newly formed DNA 50% is contributed by mother DNA, hence it is described as semi-conservative replication. Let's study it more. Semi-conservative replication in newly formed DNA molecule, one strand is old. You have already seen in the replication part, one strand is always the old and another strand is newly synthesized. So the old one conserve all the basic characteristics on the new one. So it is called semi-conservative, means half. Semi means half, conservative means conserve. Conserve means to protect, or to conserve means conservation of the basic characteristics or basic features. Okay, so experimentally it was proved by two scientists. What was the name of the two scientists? Matthew Meselson and Franklin Stahl. In which year? In 1958. So how did they prove it? First of all, both the scientists took some E. coli bacteria in a plate, and this plate contained a nitrogen, heavy means radioactive nitrogen. Radioactive nitrogen is N15. So they kept some bacteria in the solution of radioactive nitrogen, that is ammonium chloride, and allow them to reproduce over there. The bacteria which present in the radioactive nitrogen get incorporated their DNA with radioactive nitrogen, means their DNA has been modified and incorporated, or means changed according to nitrogen 15. That's why they become heavy. After that, they transfer these bacteria in the normal another plate which contain the nitrogen solution, that is ammonium chloride, and the nitrogen here is N14, means normal nitrogen, and allow them to reproduce for several generations. So first they allow them these bacteria to reproduce in N15, which were radioactive nitrogen and heavy, and again they allow them to reproduce in N14, which is the normal nitrogen. Okay, and then they break down they bring out all the bacteria and keep in calcium chloride solution and then centrifuge, and after centrifugation they bring out all the DNA and then try to find out about the different you can say categories in which one is the heavy and which one is the lighter. First of all, I would like to show you a video so that you can understand this phenomenon very easily. Just watch. Watch it carefully.
The Meselson and Stahl experiment provides evidence for semi-conservative replication of the DNA molecule, where the two parent strands serve as the template for synthesis of new strands. In this experiment, bacterial cells were grown for several generations on a medium containing a heavy isotope of nitrogen, N15. The DNA in these cells therefore contained heavy N15 nitrogen. The cells were then transferred to a new medium containing the normal lighter isotope N14. At various times after the transfer, samples of the bacteria were collected. The DNA was then extracted and dissolved in a solution of cesium chloride.
Cesium chloride.
The samples were then spun rapidly in a centrifuge. When the cesium chloride is centrifuged at high speed, a concentration gradient is established in the tube. DNA molecules move in the gradient until they reach a place where their density equals that of the cesium.
Yes, their density is...
DNA containing N14 moved to a position in the gradient determined by its density. DNA containing N15 is denser than that containing N14, so it sank to a lower position in the cesium gradient. After one generation in N14 medium, the bacteria yielded a single band of DNA with a density between that of N14 DNA and N15 DNA, indicating that only one strand of each duplex contained N15. After two generations in N14 medium, two bands were obtained, one of intermediate density, in which one of the strands contained N15, and one of low density, in which neither strand contained N15. Meselson and Stahl concluded that replication of the DNA duplex involves building new molecules by separating parent strands and then adding new nucleotides to form the complementary strand on each of these templates.
So, what have you learnt over here? First of all, when they use the isotope N15, the DNA, both the strand of the DNA converted according to this isotope N15, okay, and the color become green. But when they replicate the old mother DNA, that is which one is green, form the normal DNA that is purple in color. So the purple is semi-conservative form of the DNA, means although this DNA has been changed, but the original form of DNA is produced in the normal nitrogen, that is N14. So here you can see there is a one copy of mother and another copy of newly formed DNA strand, and this newly formed DNA is the normal. It is not incorporated with the isotope N15. Similarly, the two copy formed in which one is of mother and another is of the daughter. Again, when it is allowed for the next generation, it has been seen only one copy is of mother and another is daughter, and the other copy that forms is the daughter. Means the DNA only copy its original copy, or you can say original form. Means the DNA which has been changed due to N15 is not repeated. Means the the conserved form, means the purple color is the conserved form of the DNA, is repeating generation after generation, and the DNA that has been formed due to any other chemical substances do not repeat it. So DNA try to conserve all the features and characters from one generation to another in a normal form. It do not directly convert or change or transfer this character very next generation. Understood? So let's study in detail. Okay, I have already make a notes for you so that you can understand it very well. Let's study. So Melson and Stahl in 1958 performed an experiment to prove semi-conservative nature of replication. Understood? Next, they cultured the bacteria E. coli in the medium contain N14, that is light nitrogen, and obtain equilibrium density by the help of calcium chloride in the position, and this is band and make a band. Means when they kept this bacteria after you can say after centrifuge, when they kept the bacteria in this solution, they make the band over there. So they record the position of the band, because the lighter band form on the upper surface of the test tube, the heavier band forms at the middle at the lower surface of the test tube, and the medium, at the medium there is a composition of N14 and N15, as you can see that is given in the book. E. coli cells were then transferred in N15 medium, that is heavy isotope nitrogen, and allowed to replicate for the several generations. At equilibrium point density gradient band, they were obtained by using calcium chloride, and the position of the band is recorded. Always when they kept the bacteria in N14, they are recording the position. When they kept the bacteria in N15, they again recording the position, and the heavy N15 molecule can be distinguished from normal DNA by centrifuge in calcium chloride density gradient. Means when centrifuge, they will obviously divided and can easily make the different band on the different position in calcium chloride solution. Understood? Therefore the equilibrium point 15 and DNA will form a band. In this, both the strand of DNA are labeled in 15N. I think you are understanding. Each E. coli cells were then transferred to another medium, that is N14, as you have seen in the earlier. And in the first generation, now it is the very important line. In the first generation, the density gradient N14 and 15 are obtained, and the position were recorded. It is at the middle, neither at the top nor at the bottom of the test tube. In the second generation, the two density gradient forms, two bands forms. It is given in your book. Very clear picture has been given over there in the book. Two bands forms. One band forms of N14 and 15, and one band forms of a normal 14. Understood? So normal 14 is always the band of normal 14 will form at the top of the test tube, and the band of 14 and 15 will made at the middle of the test tube. So two band can be seen in the next second generation. The position of the band in the two generation clearly proved that the DNA replication is semi-conservative. Means DNA itself conserve its all feature and do not allow any kind of changes. Although it has been automatically changed due to the N15, they do not allow the repetition of N15 in the next generation. Understood? They conserve the old feature, that is N14, for the next generation. So N15 is changed due to, in N15 they have to change due to the chemical condition of the N15, isotope of N15, although it was not the basic feature of that DNA. That's why the DNA do not repeat the that same feature that has been changed in N15, and they try to conserve the old feature that has been present in N14, and that's why the two band forms of N14 and N14, although both the stand has been converted into N15 in the early to the experimental verification has been started. Means when the experimental verification has been started, at that time isotope nitrogen has been given and both the strand of the DNA has been changed, although these changed DNA form the normal DNA, that is normal daughter DNA, so that the characteristic features can be conserved in the next generation and there should not be any kind of changes. So DNA itself make its own copy, as well as it always try to maintain the basic feature and do not allow any kind of slightest change at all in that part of DNA. So it conserve its own characteristics, own features in the generation after generation. So it is called replication. DNA replication is semi-conservative. Hope you understood this part. Thank you, and remember to note the notes and write it down in your copy so that you can understand and learn it properly. I hope you for your better learning. And if you have any kind of problem, you can ask me at any time and anywhere. And if you have again not understood this part, you can ask me, okay? And you can watch the video once more. It will help you to understand very well. Hope for your better understanding. Bye bye. See you.